Hi everyone, this is Disha Dioxide and you are watching CEO Secrets, what made them successful and how we can make it. Today I am here with Santosh Gundapi, who is the youngest CEO of AT&S India. Today we will hear about his journey and his experiences. Were you a backbencher, sir, or were you a brilliant student? And when did your turning point towards your success happen?
That's an interesting question, to be honest with you, because most of the times I get asked this kind of questions, whether you're a last bencher or you're a first bencher, or how did it went into your schooling days. To be honest with you, whenever this question will be asked to me, I always remember one of the statements from Mr. Bill Gates.
Okay.
So if you want to pass in your exam, basically you ask the first bench students. If you want to succeed in your life, you ask the last bench students.
Okay.
Why Mr. Bill Gates told like that is basically the first bench students always they are very studious. They make sure that their syllabus they have learned it very fast, and then they are very attentive to the lecturers, and they have got the good study materials and so on. Whereas the last bench students, they always face the problem. They know how to tackle a problem. They know how to face a problem, find a solution by themselves. So you must be a combination of first bench and a last bench. To answer to your question, I am a combination of last bench and first bench. Why I call it as it is, most of the times I used to sit in the last bench. Yes, that's right. Because that is what most of the friends used to be in the last bench. When it comes to the study part, I always used to mingle with the first bench students. At the meantime, so your academic and as well as your friendship is going hand in hand to each other. Balanced life, basically. And whenever I see myself as a last bencher, has taught me more lessons than a first bench students. First bench students, you need to keep in friendship to make sure that you get all the materials that is required to prepare your examination and get the good marks. Whereas a last bench student friendship is much more important than the first bench students because they will teach you a lot of lessons in your life. If you look at your college days or the school days, most of the other extracurricular activities is done by the last bench students. They get involved into debate competition, speech competition, or volleyball match, or cricket match, and so on. When I went back to my school days, basically, I was also called as a prime minister of our high school.
Oh, nice.
That means you're heading the students' union, let's call it in that way. That has taught me a lot of lessons. The leadership doesn't come from one day to other day. So when I was in the school days, basically, then we used to have the school fest, then school functions, or you are having your sports day celebration. Imagine a fest getting organized in a school. The students' requirement is different. The last benchers' requirement is different.
Yes.
Then the lectures has got a different requirement. The institution has got a different requirement. So you as a head you have to manage all of them. That's a Herculean task. At the meantime, you have to satisfy everybody. That is how you also learn how to build a team, how to make sure that everybody is going along with you, and how to satisfy everybody's needs. So even though that doesn't teach you directly, that gives a lot of lessons in your life. And second thing is when you're involving into the sports, you always want to win, right? Nobody wants to lose.
Yes.
Especially when you are in a team. The example, volleyball team, when we used to represent Talika level and district level, you never want to lose.
Yes.
So your focus is, okay, who will play in which position and who is good in what. You identify them, you make sure that you rotate them in such a way that you want to win the game. So there is a strategy behind the game. So all those things really gives a lot of boost to your personal development rather than only the theoretical subjects. Of course, theoretical subjects are required for a technical upgradation. Yes. But at the meantime, what I felt during my school days is the extracurricular activity has given me more leadership skills than the day-to-day school learning status.
Okay. That's wonderful, sir. How can an average student become a CEO? You said you were a combination of the backbench and the middle bench and the first bench. So how can those kind of people become CEOs? They're not extremely brilliant, but they're not too lacking also.
Let's take an example of any of the successful CEOs. If you look at it, how many of them are the gold medalists?
Not many.
Not many, right?
Not many.
So the marks or the percentage what you get it in your school or in your college, that doesn't define your ability to become a leader. The leadership quality is totally different than what you score in your exams.
Yes.
So in your exams, it is on your individual performance. Whereas a leader doesn't have to be an individual performer. He needs to identify right people at the right spot. So there is nothing like an average student or a bright student, because most of the times we grade the students based on their marks. Correct?
Yes.
If your question was like average student means okay, neither he is too low marks, but neither he is a rank holder. So in between guys.
Yes.
That is not a criteria to measure a students in my point of view. And each one of us have got a different cup of coffee. The example, you are a good singer, you are a good writer. I cannot do that job. So what I can do, you cannot do it. So everybody has to focus on their strength. Then automatically they'll get succeed in their life. Whatever I have seen in the average students, they are the best students who get succeed in the life because they have seen the reality of the life. Maybe there is also a couple of times the jokes comes, right? Like example, you might have heard this Bichi, the Kannada writer, Bichi. He writes in couple of his novels. One teacher asks basically, if an watermelon cost 2 rupees, if you want to buy 35 watermelon, what would be the cost of 35 watermelon? The answer would be 2. The one guy answers 70 rupees because 35 multiplied by 2, he's a mathematical, he's sitting in the first bench, so he'll answer 70 rupees.
70 rupees.
The other guy will ask, sir, question is wrong.
Oh.
Now the question comes, why the question is wrong? Sir, who will give a watermelon for 2 rupees?
Yes.
So there is a practical approach, right? So in an organization, you need both kind of people. Like example, you need a person who will work what you ask him to do. And the second guy who will always ask you why and what is the purpose of it and what is the practicality of it.
Okay.
That plays a major role. Maybe I can give an example in terms of the industrial standards. You will call it as a design of experiments. Most of the times, engineers need to understand why they need to do the design of experiments. And that question always comes from a last bencher. Because he is used to it. He's used to ask the questions. The first venture is like, okay, you do the DOI, next day you will see a perfect design of experiment and then perfect experiment will be done. So you always need a combination of the people. Like example, very studious people, very lazy people, very consistent people, very hardworking people, very smart working people. Sometimes, with my experience, I can tell you, lazy people are also required for the organization. You may laugh at it, but that is the reality. Why? If you give a hardworking guy a task, okay, you have to complete this in 7 hours, you can do the mapping, okay, this particular task will take 1 hour, second task will take 2 hours, then you map it out and then you can calculate, okay, this is 8 hours job. You give it to a lazy person, the same job. First few days, he will struggle. Over a period of time, you can see that that person will come out with a different idea how to do that 8 hours job in 4 hours. Because he is lazy. He don't want to work for all the 8 hours, right? So he brings an efficiency in working. So there is a myth that the hardworking people, the people who stays longer time in the office, are the best employees. No, that's not true. You are given a task. How you will complete the task in an efficient way? These are the best employees, and they bring a lot of efficiency into the plant. So average students, high grade student or low grade student doesn't matter. End of the day.
Okay.
So it is how they mingle with the organization and where you place them. The leadership job is to place the right people at the right spot. That is one of the best and the inherent quality each leader should have in himself.
Okay. Sir, what is the best advice that someone gave you?
Good. So the best advice I ever got from my teachers or from lectures or from mentors or leaders within our company is never give up and believe in yourself. So these are the two statements which really changed most of my career and my life. Never give up in the sense that when you start up a project, when you're working on a project, many times it happens that the results is not desired. You expect something, but at the end of the day you get something else.
Yes, something else.
That happens in most of the projects. I can give a couple of statistics. The best of the best R&D institutions in the world, they have got the success rate is less than double digit. That means less than 10%.
Oh my God.
So you can imagine 10 projects you start, only one project will get successful. 9 projects will be failure. That's the best of the best companies. So when you start up a project, a new project or in any innovative project, it is quite obvious that it may pass, it may fail or whatever that happens. One thing we need to keep it in mind that never give up. And then you consistently run towards your goal. That is one of the criteria that we should have it. What I see it in the young generation basically is, okay, the moment you fail,
Give up.
then you give up. Maybe I can give my own example. My dad tried me to put into a Navodaya school when I was in 5th standard. He tried very hard. I went for a tuition. I was, until 4th standard, I was staying with my mom and dad. And 5th standard, nothing doing. You need to go there because you need to sleep with the teacher. And then you need to study until 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And in the morning, again, 5 o'clock, you have to get up. And then you have to study. And that is an examination. Now the examination probably will be knowing it. And unfortunately, I could not pass it. And I was also depressed. Okay, I tried so much and then I could not pass it. But again, my teacher said, you cannot give up. You are one of the brilliant students. You have a good life, end of the day. Nowadays is not the end of the life, basically. This is one exam that you have failed. There are many such exams will come into your life. Keep on going. And then I believe in you. I trust in your leadership. I trust in you, basically, your analytical skills. That gave me a lot of boost. And when it comes to the next level of examination, I was more confident. Come on, last exam has went. Now, let me try the next exam. That we also adopted into our career. So whenever any project fails or whenever something did not happen the way you wanted to happen, always remember, let's not give up ourselves. There is one more chance for us. There is one more customer is coming. There is one more project is coming. Let's work on that. So what I consider here is, a person is considered as a failure. It is not because that he has failed in one time. If you fail to get up again and start once more the journey, then it's a failure.
Then it's a failure, okay.
So until that time, it's not a failure in my point of view. That is how those two statements really made me very bold enough. So I never give up. Any task the management gives it, okay, let's take it as a challenge. Until we achieve the targets and the goal, we never give up. And the same attitude, you will build it in your team. Give them the confidence, guys, come on, let's do it together as a team. And over a period of time, they will also understand, okay, one time I can fail, second time I can fail, but third time I definitely get success. You look at any of the best industrial experts or industrial successors, whom you call it as, show me one example who has succeeded the first time. Very few examples who have succeeded the first time. But why they made it as such a big successors? That is because of their persistence, their consistency. They are very clear about their goals, their mission, their strategy, and they run behind it. And they never give up.
Yes.
So when you really correlate what has been taught to us and then correlate to the real successor in life, you can easily correlate. Yes, that is attitude that I also have to have it in myself. So automatically, you'll get success in your life. That is the main mantra in my point of view.
That's wonderful, sir. If you could go back in time and meet your younger self, what would you tell him, sir?
Again, what my mentors and leaders have taught me.
Never give up.
Never give up. And then keep on going in the life. Like example, probably you might have watched the movie Sultan, right?
Yes.
So that is kind of movies what I also get inspired. Because in that movie also, it is not that, okay, once you fail it, basically, or somebody may hit you or something may happen, the environment may not support you. But nobody can beat you other than yourself. So you cannot be called as defeated unless you are defeated by yourself. So that is a mantra what we need to adopt it in ourselves. So you keep on working until you reach your goal. You make your goal. Okay, I want to achieve some A, B, C, D, whatever you want to achieve it. And each individual is different. Each individual have their own goals, their own strategy, their own vision.
Yes.
So run behind that vision and strategy and concentrate on your strength. Then automatically you will get, it becomes a passion for you. It is no more a stress. Maybe I can give the similar example. In my family, if you look at it, my brother is a software engineer. And his wife is a software engineer. My wife is a software engineer.
Wow.
I'm the only hardware guy standing in my family alone as a standalone person who is a hardware engineer. So sometimes when it comes to an interactive session in my family also, everybody says, you are the only hardware guy. Yes, I'm proud of it because that's my passion. When I finished my engineering, my brother used to tell me, come on, I'll get an interview in a software company or you want to study here. I said, that is your cup of coffee. I know my cup of coffee. And then I have passion towards chemical engineering and I'll run in this world only. And once you're sucked into it, once you start enjoying the job, there's no more stress. So you enjoy your job. In a similar way, if a student can really identify what is his core strength and what is his or her passion and run behind it and never give up attitude, I'm sure that person will definitely succeed in the life.
It worked out well for you, sir, so it'll work out for
For
everyone.
everybody, I believe in many of the people whomever I ask, basically CEOs, they have passion to work. They never tell it as a stress, basically. That is the way of success in my point of view. If you start feeling, oh, today I have to go to office, then it is really stressful, then you can never get successful. So you say, yes, I have a problem, I need to tackle it today. Then you'll become successful.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful, sir. What is the mistake you see students making today at this point that will affect their careers in the future, which they may not realize?
See, one of the biggest mistake what I am feeling nowadays is they will see somebody has got successful and then they start following it out.
They won't follow their own path.
They don't know exactly what they want in their life.
Okay.
Maybe I can give one more example. You might have heard this Neeraj Chopra, right, who won the gold medal.
Yes, yes.
Very next day in the newspaper, there are like 2,000 people standing in front of the institution to get trained on the javelin throw.
Oh.
The meaning is, if Neeraj Chopra can do, my daughter or my son also can do it, and I can also do it. That's a totally wrong myth. Correct? So, but they see one as a successful person, and then they'll see, okay, when he can get success, I can also get success in the same field. But they don't understand what is their core strength. Everybody has to understand their core strength and weakness and what area they want to excel. As I said to you, like example, you write good poems, you're a good singer. So that is not my cup of coffee. I enjoy the songs if somebody is singing a song. But if you ask me to write a song, I'll be pathetic, right? So what is my strength? My strength is, like example, leadership skill, or bring the team together, identifying and motivating the team, and making a strategy and vision for next 5 years or 10 years, what we want to become. Exactly. So each student has to identify their strength and then work towards it. And this is exactly what I see it in currently in India, especially. If one gets success, everybody wants to follow the same thing. You can see it even in couple of roads, one hotel gets successful. You'll see 10 hotels on the same road. Right? So this is a totally wrong myth and a wrong conception. If they get success, I'll also get success in the same path. So that they need to come out. Couple of students are extremely good in technical stuff. They can join R&D centers. Couple of guys are extremely good in leadership skills. So they can take a leadership role. Couple of guys are born entrepreneurs. You ask them anything, they'll only talk to you about what is happening in the financial model, who is supporting finance, how to start up a company. So they need to make benefit of their own strength end of the day, rather than focusing on what others are doing. So whenever I talk to the engineering students, this is what I keep on telling them. Don't restrict yourself to by looking somebody else's success. Believe in yourself, believe in your strength, and then concentrate on your strength and convert that as a success.
Was your path to success easy, sir? Was it luck or was it hard work? Was it a combination? What was it, sir?
There is nothing like an easy path for any of the leader, to be honest with you. Whenever you look at any of the leaders, they are not struggled, but they put a lot of efforts to get into that position. It is same for everyone.
Yes.
And the path to success will never be easy. You need to be putting a lot of your efforts. You need to determine, you need to sacrifice yourself, and end of the day, you need to be very clear on what you want to achieve and then run behind it, basically. And that is what is the secret of success also. As I mentioned to you earlier also, the leadership quality is basically you need to come from yourself, within yourself. And the good part of you here is you need to make sure that your team is comfortable with you. And that is how you get a success end of the day.